The main opposition, Democratic Alliance, for instance, has also been under a fair degree of difficulty with the Patricia de Lille scandal unfolding. So, do we have a viable option in 2019? Joining us from the Mill Park Business School, Head of Research, Dr. Sam Khoma. Good afternoon to you and welcome. Have we lost trust in politicians?
I think this is going to be the toughest elections since the dawn of our democracy, because increasingly we have seen the issue of voter apathy and also political withdrawal among the general population, young and old, because there was a study which was conducted by the Institute for Security Studies in 2016, and young people raised the issue of corruption and poor leadership on the part of the political parties, to say, yes, we are interested in participating in democratic processes, but we find politicians who are not trustworthy, but also seem to be greedy and also corrupt. The findings are there in the study.
How do political parties across the spectrum then find themselves in this position in 2018, given all the promise of the past?
Lack of consequences management. Jeremy, talking tough no longer suffices for majority of South Africans. We want to see tangible action taken against those who are implicated, either in the Zondo Commission, which is investigating allegations of state capture, fraud and corruption, and lately the VBS scandals. People will have to be either suspended, expelled from these political parties, or dismissed from government positions that they are holding, and they are being deployed by their political parties.
Yet political parties seem unable to do that.
That is the challenge that increasingly they will face because of, as I said earlier, voter apathy to some extent has been triggered by this lack of accountability, because generally, Jeremy, citizens are now getting a sense that there seem to be political protection or people who are regarded as untouchables in some of these political parties. So it means I can commit wrongdoing and find political shield in my own party, either the ANC or the DA or any of the political parties for that matter.
Is that really, do you think, going to translate into a poor attendance in the election, a couple of months away? Or what tends to happen is that the closer we get to the election, the promises become more amplified, the campaigning becomes more vigorous, and there's almost a general sense of forgiveness or time out as far as the parties are concerned. The election is over, and then we enter into the same cycle again.
Exactly. Thanks, Jeremy, for that. Now, as I said earlier, increasingly, we see a number of concerns that are raised by ordinary people. So, as I said, this will be the toughest elections because it is taking place against the backdrop of high levels of unemployment, a lot of retrenchments or job cuts that are being pronounced or taking place in certain sectors, growing levels of poverty and also inequality. But these corruption scandals that are increasingly coming to the fore. So it's no longer given that political allegiance and loyalty will pay the price for most of the political parties. They will have to prove tangibly that we have this track record of addressing these challenges. We have this track record of punishing those who commit wrongdoing in our ranks.
Dr. Khoma, it's not just confined to the African National Congress, is it?
Exactly. Within the DA, you remember the issue of Patricia de Lille. Of course, people forget that Patricia de Lille was instrumental in assisting the DA back in 2010 when she decided to merge with the DA through the Independent Democrats. And they secured the city of Cape Town. And we know that for the past 6 years, under her stewardship, the city of Cape Town obtained clean audits, except last year, where the AG flagged the issue of irregular expenditure arising from the My City bus and also the security upgrades which were done at her home.
All right. Hypothetically speaking, then, and this could apply to any of the major principal parties, if a election strategist is now sitting and saying, how do we achieve a short-term win in order to regain some of that trust, albeit much of it is eroded anyway, what do they do, or is it too late?
It's not too late. They can quickly act. As I said earlier, consequences management. VBS, yes, they're talking tough, But, of course, the ANC Integrity Committee or Commission has recommended that those who are implicated step aside, suspend your political participation in the activities of the party to clear your name. And also in the DA, they are also doing the same, to say those who are implicated don't hide behind the party, but find a way to clear your name or the allegations that are affecting you. The same in the EFF.
Yet there is an intransigence as far as this is concerned, because if you look at the audio bite that we've just played now with Batabile Dlamini, you've just seen it being questioned very politely about whether she has paid back money during her SASSA days. She simply refuses to comment. And she is still in a position of authority. We've had the Malusi Gigaba scandal breaking all around us, effectively called by the court a liar. I won't even mention the controversial sex tape video that has been released, yet he is considering his position. In many democracies, he would have been hoofed out, surely.
Exactly. And also, as you said, in most advanced democracies, political representatives, they have a sense of shame. You are implicated in a sexual harassment scandal. You step down from your position. You don't have to be pushed or to be asked by the president to step down from your position. You have seen that in other advanced democracies. So this is the challenge that we are having in South Africa, to say increasingly, as I mentioned earlier, voters are looking for strong, bold, ethical and visionary public representatives who will be able to address them.
In fairness to some of the political parties, though, on the flip side, we've just had an extended interview with the Treasurer General of the ANC, Paul Mashatile. He was questioned at length about the veracity of the Integrity Commission. His retort to that was, we'd like to let all people put their side of the story first before we act. The problem sometimes, though, is that they would be allowed to put their story forward, yet nothing happens after that anyway.
And as I said, people are fed up with that. Generally, across South Africa, young and old, people in the rural and urban areas are tired of this political protection and arrogance that is displayed by some of these ministers or public representatives, either as councillors or as mayors and all that, to say they don't want to take any responsibility for their own actions, because these are the decisions that they take in the course of execution of their official duties. So accountability is going to be a key concern for ordinary voters ahead of the 2019 elections. So it's not too late. The president can decisively act on some of this, because the public protector report is there. It says act against this minister. And also, a court order is there. It says this is a minister who has violated her office in terms of adhering to ethical conduct and all of that.
Dr. Sam Khoma, thank you very much indeed.